Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for having me out here today. I am really delighted to be here in the beautiful surroundings here at the National Nordic Museum. It is the first time for me. It will not be the last time. For centuries, people from Scandinavia have been drawn to the promise of the opportunities offered here in Washington State. They brought with them their culture, their traditions, and their entrepreneurial spirit, shaping the identity of Washington today. It is a testament to our shared values of hard work, innovation, and preserving the beauty and diversity of our natural environments for future generations. We also have a shared history of strong trade relations between our two countries. Actually, today the United States has become now Denmark's largest export market and our second largest trading partner, and it will only be a year or two where it will also be our largest trading partner. It just goes so fast. Last year, our trade relations created an estimated 150,000 jobs with nearly 80,000 people directly employed by more than 900 Danish companies operating now in the United States. Denmark sees major investments across core sectors like energy efficiency, health and life science, water, food, and agriculture. Just take Copenhagen Infrastructure Partners, take Ørsted. These energy giants are now leading the charge here in offshore wind, with development in the US investing heavily in renewable energy projects and supply chains across all 50 states. And yes, offshore wind is a key focus, but it is a lot more than that. Lego announced last year that they are building a new manufacturing plant in the US powered by renewable energy. And Rockwool, I think they are together with us here today represented, has made plans to build yet another new sustainable facility right here in the state of Washington. Together with the US and many other countries around the world, Denmark is working toward meeting the goals of the Paris Agreement to keep a global temperature rise well below 2 degrees Celsius and to pursue efforts to limit the temperature increase even further to 1.5 degrees Celsius in this century. Denmark has set our own ambitious targets. We aim for a 70% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, and we have a political ambition of being completely climate neutral by 2045. These targets are not just aspirations, they are backed by concrete action and legislation. Today, many look to Denmark as an example of a successful green economic transformation. In the early 1970s, Denmark was almost 100% energy dependent on energy from the outside, especially oil from the Middle East. Today, Denmark has become almost 100% energy independent. And over the last 20 years, we have doubled our GDP while keeping our energy consumption flat. Today, renewables constitute a very significant portion of our energy mix. Wind and solar right now in the generation makes up about 63% of our consumption. Already in 2027, we expect it to be 100%. And with 38% renewable natural gas injected into the natural gas pipeline. Yes, it is true that there are some sectors, the hard to abate, where direct electrification is not an option right now, but we look toward converting renewable electricity into green hydrogen, which can be converted into e-fuels, supporting industries such as shipping, aviation, or heavy industries. All this while maintaining strong job growth, high incomes, an inclusive economy, and lots of demands for our green products and know-how on global markets. This is also the case here in the US, where we now export and invest more than in any other country. And I think our success in renewable energy is not just for us about reducing our own emission. It is also about enhancing energy security. As we all know, the recent geopolitical events, not least in Europe, in our own neighborhood, in our backyard, have underscored the importance of energy independence. And Denmark's investments in renewables now for decades have played a crucial role in ensuring our resilience against external disruptions. Denmark has made it well through the last 2 winters since the start of the war in Ukraine. And this is also in large part thanks to Danes being willing and able to adapt their consumption behaviors to the new reality. While Denmark may be a small emitter on a global scale, I think the Danish global emission constitutes 0.1% of global greenhouse gas emissions. We also recognize that our responsibility to lead by our example and inspire others. And that is why we are actively sharing our experiences and best practices with countries around the world, including here in the United States. Through collaboration and knowledge exchange, we can amplify our impact. We can drive meaningful change also on a global scale. Moving forward, Denmark is committed to leveraging our expertise and technology to support other countries, including the US, in its green energy transition. With significant support from the federal government here in the US, and of course, as we have seen here in a state like Washington, there are now tremendous opportunities for collaboration and for learning from each other. Industrial symbiosis may be a less well-known area, but it has also become an area where Denmark has now become a front runner. An extensive number of state legislators from Washington have actually gone to Denmark over the last 7 years to look at industrial symbiosis. And I sense now, and I can just sense that also from having been here yesterday and today and have meetings on this, a very strong movement to accelerate the development of similar systems. In Kalundborg, in Denmark, they have visited what we call the Kalundborg Symbiosis, which has been a pioneer for creating a circular economy system that benefits both communities, businesses, and certainly the environment. By sharing resources and reducing waste, companies in the symbiosis have demonstrated the power of collaboration in driving sustainable development. In 2020, Washington State became the first state in the United States to pass an industrial symbiosis program, and with bipartisan support from the state legislature. I think it's very positive that Washington has taken note of our success in industrial symbiosis and is actively working to establish similar systems. In the panel discussion, in the panel debate, just will be coming up now, you will hear from some of the key stakeholders that are actively working to establish industrial symbiosis projects in Washington State. The model of inspiration is, among others, the industrial park developed by Green Lab Skive. It's a rural part of northern Denmark. The panelists will also discuss the potential of Washington State to become a hub in the US for building up the knowledge, the know-how, and the expertise needed to guide and facilitate the development of future industrial symbiosis projects. Just to sum up and to finish, I would just like to express my gratitude to the National Nordic Museum and the Department of Commerce for providing this opportunity for us to strengthen the partnerships between Washington State and our Nordic region. I look very much forward to listening in on the panel debate ahead and to further discuss how we can advance industrial symbiosis, sustainable economic development, and the green transition at large together. Thank you again for the invitation to be present at this very important event, and thank you for listening.